It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Dudes ain't wearing shirts.
And a lot of body juices.
And lots of oil.
Because there's lots of blood.
Lots of oil. Blood and oil everywhere. Hangman didn't have any sparkles on him. Well, we didn't see any Hangman either.
Shit, I'm rolling with that. It's top rope tokes. I'm just saying that guy over there is
range of motions.
Sorry, that was too perfect to pass up. But if you're watching this later down the line on our YouTube channel, do us a favor down below, hit that like button, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. But also there will be a Discord link. We talk wrestling. Sorry. You like wrestling, we like wrestling. Let's talk wrestling.
Yeah.
That's what I put in the description everywhere, and I still mess it up. Tonight,
point is, watch wrestling.
More specifically, Dynamite. Because we're never missing that one. And there were some exciting things about tonight's show. Something that really, really tells us a lot about our upcoming trip to Chicago as well. That will come up a little bit later on, as we had a return that very much impacts the scope of everything in AEW. Was there anything specific that also stuck out to you?
As far as the entire show goes,
yes,
to look back on,
in a vague general sense.
Yeah, that had to have been, that was huge, and that was definitely the highlight of the show.
The only other thing that I can think of that really could be, I mean, lots of things will have impact, of course, but as far as things you didn't necessarily expect, there was another promo that kind of has been building, that everyone's been waiting for, that probably will get people talking more and more heading into the future. And it was going so well, and then it got kind of rushed, so we'll see what happens there. But as far as matches go, we're kind of, I mean, outside of a couple squash match kind of situations, we were kind of stacked tonight. We had some big matches, lots of blood.
Yeah.
As soon as I said lots of blood, there was like a smile on your face. And now
we have blood everywhere.
I literally
had body oil.
I literally, in my notes, I was like, oh, this is how Moxley is going to bleed tonight. Sorry, that's not a spoiler. It's a Moxley match. You know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Moxley bleeding, guarantee.
Especially
he probably has blood transfusions weekly.
Honestly, if I was like a medical field worker that was at the show, how's it going, Wrestling Fan 167? If I was a worker in the medical field, I would want to look at someone like Moxley and say, you could possibly be donating this blood instead, saving lives.
That's what I said. They're, if you got enough money, you can do whatever you want. Nobody's going to say anything about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's somebody that has a lot of money that kind of got forced out of power at a different company right now. So, I mean, it may catch up to you, but you'll probably be almost 80, and you should have retired already by then anyway.
It came from the generation that doesn't retire.
Now, it's not exactly a retirement, but to kind of talk about and hop right into Dynamite here for a moment. The first match implies somebody's going to do more than retire, because we had a coffin match. Lots of shenanigans in this one. To start off, Brody had his entrance. Darby actually attacked when the lights were down and everything. And after all the shenanigans with the House of Black, and then an iconic appearance I messed up the word appearance there. That was fun. Then Darby ends up choking out Brody King to get the win and drop him into the coffin to kind of reverse the fortunes of everything that started the whole thing with the Royal Rampage. I found it fun. What was your highlights of the match?
Yeah. Obviously, I love watching a dude get charged from out of nowhere. So the start of the match was great for me when the lights went black and then the lights come back up and Brody's still just, yeah, I'm Brody. And then Darby jumps on him out of nowhere and the bell rings. I love that. And then obviously the ending was cool too because Darby's getting choked out by Brody for a little bit now, and seeing him get him back here with the chain.
With his own chain.
Yeah, with his own chain.
Now, the lights went down. We ended up getting the return of Buddy Matthews with the House of Black. But I know when the lights went down, I could hear you in the Discord as we were chatting. You're like, Sting in the rafter, Sting in the rafter. Like a little bit before that. Were you expecting Sting at that point?
No, I wasn't. Well, not in the rafters. Because I feel, did they do that at a pay-per-view already? Or was it a Dynamite? They've done it once already. At least once.
There's been a number of times where, like, he'll have a match and Sting will be.
We don't want him to overdo it.
But Sting did make a very Sting entrance.
Yeah, but the Sting entrance was pretty cool though. He's inside of the coffin, of course.
Yeah,
I love that.
So when the House of Black came in,
he's not going to be in the rafters. Perfect place for him.
So before anything else really happened, like what had happened was when the House of Black had came in, Buddy went in and attacked after Julia tripped him up, and then they went to go get the coffin and Sting got up and wiped them all out with the bat. Also of note, Brody King apparently went to the school of John Moxley's school of how to bleed. Because within like 2 minutes of this match starting, he was busted wide open from the skateboard with the thumbtacks right to the top of the dome.
Hey, he deserved that.
It was a lot of blood. A lot.
You already know I'd be down.
Next on the show, though, something that I know neither you or I took much of a note of was the John Moxley backstage promo.
He gave a promo.
Basically, he's still annoyed by the word interim, and he starts talking about Jericho for their match tonight.
Yep. He did the Moxley kind of thing, giving his opponent props. We watched Jericho for 2 decades. But I'm gonna break him. That's usually how it ends.
Yeah, let's put it this way. After the commercial break, we had the reverse. We had Jericho backstage, and I took a lot more notes for what Jericho said because I don't know. At least he had like decent lines in it, like how he loves to say he's gonna stretch the shit out of somebody now.
Well, he's not a wizard anymore casting those fireballs. So he's got to stretch people now.
At least he's changing it up on a regular basis now. I guess it stops him from ever getting like stale. I mean, he's still Jericho and been around forever, so it's hard not to, but nothing really.
He does all right though.
I mean,
as long as he can still cut a promo, that'll be fine.
There's times where he's so obnoxious that he does annoy me, but at the same time, that's the purpose of what he's doing at that point in time. So, it is what it is.
He's just good. He's so good.
He makes me legitimately hate Sammy because he keeps him around. Uh, if you don't know anyone out there, wrestling fan, Sammy is not a friend of this show.
Yeah,
Not
Sammy
fans.
Guevara.
Now, going down to kind of his neck of the woods with, down south America / into Mexico and like the lucha scene. The next match has 4 people I know that we're both a fan of. Because we got
Oh yeah,
back to them, as I just talked about them, as one team that we wouldn't mind seeing again the titles. La Fascion and Gobernables with Rush and Andrade versus the Lucha Brothers in the Lucha Rules mask.
yeah. Tornado tag match.
We talked
Same.
about this as it happened. Like, there was not much for notes. It was with the no tags, action after action after action. There wasn't really a whole lot, but for notes, because it was so good. But in the end, the Ingobernables ends up winning after they tied Penta's mask to the ropes. He unmasked himself to break up a pin, threw him to the outside, and then they just beat up Ray Fenix, hit a couple of finishers, and got the win. Too many things you loved? Anything specific to even point out? Because it was
just there's not really much specific to point out. I sat back and just enjoyed it because it was quick. Everything was fast. A lot of spots in here. Just exactly what you expected to see from Andrade and Bruce with the Lucha Bros over there. Just
and
I want more.
It wasn't like the spot monkey fest that people complain about, where people just continuously hit moves. It was done where it's like, this person hits this person, that person goes down, the next person comes in and hits them. So it all made sense, and they breathed when they need to breathe and take their moments. And they're also good with their strikes. Okay, obviously we know the Lucha Brothers and their super kicks. We know Rush and Andrade can do some chops.
Those real super kick parties.
Or thrust kicks, as they said sometimes.
Yeah. Whatever they want to call them. Super kick, thrust kick. Yeah, those chops. The other two.
Mm-hmm.
But
the strikes are so good. And then the lucha stuff on top of it.
Yeah.
So fun.
Say usually a nominee for a hit for the night comes out of this match. Or any match that involves Rush or Andrade, because somebody's getting hit hard. In which I actually didn't take a note of one.
For this match, I'll just throw it out there because it's always something wicked for us to see, and maybe you'll end up rolling with it too and enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
Is Penta hit Andrade with the Destroyer on the ring apron.
Oh, yeah.
Right before he went for the Fear Factor. And Rush.
That was tight.
Now, as he went for the Fear Factor, he went for the assist on it, and we got the most simple counter to Penta or Fenix walking on the ropes. Andrade just hopped up and shook the ropes, and he went flying off of them. And it set up a bunch of other stuff. Like, that was actually right before the end of the match. But simple counter, just push the ropes when the dude's running on him. But
I'm happy that they didn't actually take Penta's mask off. He had to slip out of it himself. At least that was somewhat different this time.
And they brought a spare mask.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you have done this all the other times? It's
been used against them. I was so sad about the crowd chanted for whoever caught it to send it back, and they wouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm. God. I wonder if... See, at first when it happened, I wondered if they expected the throwback, but I'm like, come on, why wouldn't you have another match just in case then? And then after the LFI for short, after they won the match and they started talking about it and they started promoting their trios match against the Young Bucks and Mystery Partner, made sense. I was like, no, they were not losing this match, because Lucha Bros really need a win at some point.
Yeah, man. I don't want them slipping down the card, which they already kind of had. But I've been saying it. Don't do it. Please don't do it. They're too good. I want to see that.
Now we got what may be
thanks for stopping in.
A most important promo of the night, possibly, because we had that backstage segment with Dark Order, Young Bucks, and Hangman Adam Page. Now, at first, it was the Bucks going in. Obviously, Cutler is filming, and they end up telling no, they want the Dark Order to be there. They want them there. It's probably a good thing, just out in the open. Most of it was the Young Bucks just apologizing for how they had been, how they had treated them. They didn't know about the money, the fame, what changed them. And they said the best years of them were together. And they eventually get to the point of asking them to be their partner. He says no, he can't. And at first he kind of says it like just in response to them. But then he's like, oh, but like, I got the Dark Order. They've never turned their back on me. They've been in my corner the whole time. I have to have their back as a trio. I'm not going to be in it, but I can't be in their corner, but also then wrestling on your guys' sides. Hangman did make a specific line about someone that would never turn their back on them. So later on, when they leave, Cutler's like, I think he was trying to tell you guys to pick me, like, as a hint. And they're like, no. So Young Bucks are still trying to figure it out. What do you think of this segment?
This is cute. The Young Bucks are humbling themselves and trying to be all apologetic for all their young buckness, because they just be out there bucking.
I always thought Matt was a pretty good talker when he needed to, or at least had the personality for like BTE and everything. So like his apology and everything, it was rolling so well.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if I expected him to ask about the trio's partner right away. I figured they might have worked up to it and had that for like next week or Rampage or something. But nope, they went for it right off the bat.
Yeah, they went right in for it.
We're apologizing because, hey, we need you. Is not usually the look I would imagine somebody wants to go for.
Yeah, but when Hangman made sure to let us know that he's not going to be in the tournament at all, that obviously left it open for them to still team up with him. They might have turned him down this time, but something will happen between here and whenever that match is.
That's why I thought, depending on if the House of Black Dark Order match happened first, maybe they'd be eliminated. It would free him up. But no, the only match that I think that we have announced so far is the Young Bucks match, isn't it? I mean, I've seen I've seen the bracket, but I don't remember seeing any other graphics card for any other match yet.
Yeah, they haven't said anything about any of the other trios matches.
Next
but either way, it's going to end with Young Bucks.
Then get you a shirt. Oh, maybe they'll have a... Oh, that's right. They'll be together and good by the time your birthday rolls around. Get you a nice Young Bucks shirt.
Might have to.
Next, though,
hey.
Jungle Boy comes out first. You get to hear one of your favorite theme songs. You sat there. Yep.
Oh,
And he came out, he went on to commentary. I swear this is not the first time that he's been on commentary. And I swear every time that he's on commentary, you can barely ever hear the dude.
you know, so he's been on commentary before, but I feel like he was better this time. Either that or I just don't remember last time because it wasn't good.
I'm not sure he talked a lot last time though either. He might have just been pretty quiet in general. But I know compared to the other ones volume wise, he's always lower, and I think they adjusted on the fly with him. But after that, we had Luchasaurus. Anthony Henry was out there. It was a squash match from what I could tell. Did he win with the headbutt?
A choke slam.
Oh, he got with the choke slam after, because I was so thrown off by the commentary because they were talking about the headbutt and then Jungle Boy's like the fossilizer. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that was a choke slam. But that headbutt was pretty dope though. I do like Luchasaurus's headbutt.
Yeah,
pretty boss.
During the celebration, Christian was on the screen, starts doing his generic, talking cliche, kind of starts on a promo. Commentator's like, he knows where he is. Lucha Boy, or I said Lucha Boy. Jungle Boy goes running backstage to attack. Security's all over them. Christian manages to escape. Segment ends with them kind of freaking out because, speaking of the headbutt, hey, maybe this could have been the hit of the night. He headbutts Pat Buck, producer, agent kind of person. They're like, oh shit, okay, we gotta stop now.
Yeah, Luchasaurus went for everybody. I loved it. He, I call it wardlowing now.
When you take out 20 security guards.
Yeah, he wardlowed the shit out of them, man.
And, okay. So this is coming from a redhead. Pat Buck might have the reddest hair I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it looks dyed.
At this point, definitely. But
possibly red.
I don't know. I think it started that way, and then it's just, the dye to kind of keep it up. I don't know how off it might be. Do you want to take the Miro one? Because I know we kind of had the similar mindset on how this went and where we thought it was going.
Yeah, let's do that. Miro promo. So he starts out saying House of Black gave him a gift. He's thankful. And I'm just sitting there like, no. And then here comes Julia Hart behind him in the middle of the video. And I'm just freaking out. So I'm like, no, he's joining the House of Black. There's no way. Please tell me he's not joining the House of Black. And then he keeps on going. And he says his path goes through these pagans. He has to go through the House of Black to get to his God. And I was like, oh, thank God. He's going to beat the shit out of the House of Black. And then he's going to get to his God. And we're both going to be happy.
So the one thing that I really took from it was, I hope it's not an excuse to bring in his wife finally as just like a manager type of personality, because they don't really need more people to fit on screen, even though it would just be like explicitly with him. I do like the fact that she hasn't been on screen, but he can refer to all the time. But she told him to let like the demons in. That's what she did. He's like, do not touch me, woman. Only one woman can touch me, and you are not her. Go tell your pagans I accept your gift, but only to destroy them. I love the fact that he started off kind of with the House of Black style promo, but in the end he kind of turned it back into what Miro was supposed to be and what he always was.
Gave me a heart attack. Miro.
Kill them all.
But yeah, go ahead. You have my permission. Destroy them. All of them.
Speaking about getting people back on TV, why is the factory around all the time now?
Hey, man.
Now they roll up on Will Hobbs trying to do an interview.
Gotta have some time. The factory. It's QT.
It was basically the same thing. He interrupts them immediately, says the crumbs that Hobbs left all over the ring, or the crumbs that Hobbs left, they'll spread all over the ring. They got him because they're about to face Ricky Starks. He says not to let their problem become his.
Yep. I don't have any thoughts.
I mean, most of the thoughts that probably would come from this will probably come after the match anyway.
Yeah, if there's any, yeah.
Just because the match itself kind of circles back to him. But the next thing that we had, I pretty much missed entirely. So have at it.
Okay. So we get the Jay Lethal team. They really need to just give a name for the team because I'm not gonna keep saying all three of their names every time. they all come out. Jay Lethal team. They come out to the ring for an in-ring promo. They actually don't ramble too much this time. Sanjay gets a little bit of chihuahuaing going on. And then Jay says, yeah, we're not done with Wardlow yet. I want another shot at the belt. Wardlow comes out, of course, because he has to accept the challenge. And he says he accepts the challenge, but he's going to whoop all three of their asses right now. And he starts coming all the way down to the ring. And before he starts to get too far, FTR comes in to back him up. FTR.
Question. Did Wardlow say Wardlow's World at any point in time?
No, he actually didn't.
Thank God.
But he has talked about whooping ass in every single promo he's done. I'm thinking that's about to be his thing, is that he says he's going to whoop somebody's ass every time.
Whoop all the asses.
Yeah, I'm going to whoop their ass.
Big brawl?
Yeah. Nope. Lethal team runs away.
Boo. I mean...
But they catch Jay Lethal, though. So, Satnam Singh's too huge to just get back into the ring quickly. And Sanjay's not going in there by himself. So they got Jay Lethal by himself. What is the FTR combo move called with
big
the
rig?
knee? The big rig, yeah. Yeah, they big rig Jay Lethal.
That sounds so dirty.
Yeah. Yeah, they gave Jay Lethal a big rig. And then Satnam Singh pulled him out of the ring.
I mean, Satnam Singh can probably reach halfway across the ring.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, he pulls him out of the ring, and then they all kind of stare each other down while the Lethal team scampers away.
It's gotta be really weird trying to have a stare down with them because the height difference. Like, you can't look one of them in the eyes while still looking at the other two.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're like halfway up the ramp when this is happening, so
I don't care. It's like 3 feet
staring
difference.
in that direction. I mean, when you're that far away, it's all the same direction.
Yeah. So, and that was it before the Ricky Starks and Aaron Solo?
That was... Oh, no. No.
Because
there was another promo.
Because that's why I asked when I came back. I was like, was there anything else? You're like, oh, there was a video for Ricky. So what else was there? What else slid in
Yeah.
between?
So, and also, I've now coined the JASB team. This is Cool Hand Daddy Magic, or no, Cool Hand Angel and Daddy Magic, and Anna JAS, the JASB team. um, but they also did have Daniel Garcia with them. He might be a member of the B team as well. Who knows?
Hopefully,
But
the three of them turn on Sammy, Jake, and Jericho down the line.
Yeah, nothing of note from any of them for me. Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Inge talked about Jericho's match because they never talk about anything but Jericho. Yeah, he's gonna win. 2-time champion. Sports entertainers.
Is this
and then Daniel Garcia? What?
I was gonna say, is this possibly when they dropped the 2 out of 3 falls match?
That was I think they put up the card after that.
Okay.
But he didn't mention it. Daniel Garcia just again reiterated that he slayed the dragon, so he's the Dragon Slayer. And yeah, he'll fight Bryan Danielson whenever he wants. And a JAS chokes out a random woman.
And she'll choke anyone out, don't you know?
Yeah. Apparently she didn't. She looked at them funny and she got choked out.
Yeah, her story is just going insane, literally.
Yeah. Then we come back for Ricky.
And another video. Video. You said...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there is a little video there. Basically, Ricky has been going through some shit lately. Team Taz broke up. He lost his belt. He lost his best friend. So things aren't going too well. But he's out on his own. He didn't say he's free, but basically he's free. And he's not going to give up. Even though he's got the factory chasing after him now too.
So generic babyface.
Yeah.
So for the match, he had a fight. He was going up against Aaron Solo. Cole Carter was at ringside from the factory. He got kicked out kind of quick, and Starks ended up winning with a spear. There was some after the match stuff when Comrade comes down with a chair. Starks hit him with a big old spine buster, like you know who. The rest of the factory comes down, and Starks ends up having to escape. And we flash back to see Hobbs rip a monitor off the wall and throw it to the ground.
Yeah.
That was actually fun and nice to see. Something different than
I like that.
Yeah.
Ricky doing the little kid on the playground thing, running halfway up the steps and just
then air guitaring the shit, looking down at everybody.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on the actual match? Because
it was so quick that what are you?
Right.
What are you?
Aaron Solo countered the Rochambeau, but then he ate a spear.
Yeah. It was about a 2-minute match.
The next promo was probably just as long and fun. Honestly, Billy Gunn, out of all people, might have had the line of the night. To me, I mean, Stokely also had some good ones, but it's Billy with his sons backstage, and he goes, how can you, in one night, ruin the only match that he ever made famous? And just thinking back to when they threw Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie off the stage and everything else, I remember, and I just started dying. So you got a match on Rampage, and that's when Stokely interrupts. Would you like to take Stokely?
So yeah, Stokely does walk up and he calls Daddy ass Grandpa ass. I like that. He says, "Hey, Grandpa ass." And then he just proceeds to talk about how the gun club is kind of not doing so hot, but he can help out. He offers the card to Austin and Colton right in front of Daddy ass.
Yeah, he just
Daddy ass says, "Yeah, basically like, yeah, you're funny, but you're about to have a real bad day if you don't walk away." And he just walks right off expeditiously.
Yeah, Stokely has this amazing ability where he threw like 3 different old jokes at Billy Gunn in like 10 seconds.
Oh man.
But pretty much as soon as he walks off, when Billy goes to talk back to his sons, you hear Danhausen in the background, and he walks up and says, "See you on Friday," with his big bearded fellow. So we were sitting there wondering who it was. I was trying to think of who's a big bearded guy who would actually team with Danhausen. There was only one person that came to mind. It was confirmed earlier with Eric Redbeard, Joseph Rudd, whatever.
Yeah. I don't remember who that guy is. I feel like they have a few red bearded guys.
You might have seen him once. He's never actually like worked there. He's like popped up at random times though.
Okay. So probably have seen him. Or I'm sure I've seen him.
Just like something we've seen a million times. The next thing we saw was another Tony Schiavone interview that was immediately interrupted by a group of people. Is this time?
Yeah, it is a common theme.
He's with best friends. Well, more specifically, Orange Cassidy backstage. He was like, "You want to say something or show me something?" He starts doing like patty cake with the best friends. Immediately interrupted by Ari Daivari with the Trustbusters, says he wants to make Orange Cassidy a star. Starts talking all this stuff. Orange Cassidy just goes, I don't know what the question is, but no. I think they'll said he regrets it. After that, it was just whatever.
Yeah. Basically, he said he'll regret that. So just means their mid-card feud isn't done yet.
Yeah. Hey, next is a match that I don't know what your feelings are going to be, because I know it has your favorite people, but at the same time, it was interesting. Madison Rayne versus Jade. They kept talking about how Madison Rayne's only second match in company and she could become champion. Jade ends up countering Cross Rain into Jaded for the win. And then we got Athena coming out after hiding in the baddie section. Starts like Jade, but Kira pulls her out and they kind of have a stare down. Thoughts, favorite moments, anything specific?
Yeah. So Jade is just starting to look better and better. Every time I see her, it looks like she's been working on her wrestling. So I appreciate that, Jade. We appreciate that you want to be good.
There was a landing on a spear that scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, that was one thing I was going to say, is that she didn't take. That's probably what you're mentioning. But yeah, I was just going to say she didn't take a couple of the moves very well. But she's still looking better. Like you can see that people are able to do more risky things in the ring with her now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like you have to protect the baby anymore.
The top rope blockbuster neckbreaker that pretty much just completely whiffed still.
Yeah.
Now the story of the match though, Jade was pretty much overpowering everything and just making fun of the size difference. Yeah. Crafty Veteran did crafty veteran things, but still lost to Jade, so.
Yeah, lots of showboating, lots of flexing, push-ups, and she was doing Jade stuff.
Oh yeah.
Just showing you that she's in a class of her own.
Oh my god, David, next, there was a Tony Schiavone segment backstage that was not interrupted. Sorry, I just looked in my notes and I saw it. Because the two people that they are setting up a match between were both already there with him, with Thunderstorm. And they talk about what commentary had just mentioned a little bit before. Statlander's injured, which makes Tony Storm the #1 contender. They talk about it's not ideal because they're teaming right now, and Tony says she has a match coming up and she wants to stay on the roll, obviously, and her goal is ultimately to be champ. Rosa kind of just pushes off. It's like, we'll worry about that later.
Yeah, I've been saying, see, they were going with Chris Statlander obviously before, but I've been saying that I think, even though I wouldn't want it, I think that Tony Storm is going to be the one to take the belt off of Thunder Rosa. And with all this stuff building up between the two of them now, with them also being tag partners, it just gives them, hopefully it's going to give them a big story when they finally decide to take that belt off of Thunder Rosa.
After this, there was a brief, like, the run through of upcoming matches and cards and stuff like that, and there was something worth kind of mentioning, that AAA mixed tag tournament, Sammy and Ty will be facing Sky Blue and Dante Martin as a mixed tag tournament for some titles down AAA.
Yeah.
We saw Mark Henry earlier in the show, but this isn't Rampage, but it is time for the main event.
Yeah, it's time for the main event.
Jericho has his old Lionheart trying in his music. I think Taz said it was by the Zombies at some point. Mox bled a lot kind of early in the match. Jericho bled a lot very late in the match. But in the end, Jericho ends up tapping out to the choke. I'm surprised he didn't just go for the pass out finish, considering the whole Lionheart and everything else. After, Hager and Sammy run out first. Then I don't want to say the BCC because it was just that whole group with Eddie, Ortiz, and some BCC. Then the rest of JAS comes out. But then we hear some static, followed by a song that we know, and not just from wrestling. What song was that, David?
We heard the cult of personality. The cult of personality.
He comes out, clears house. Mox and Punk have a stare down. I believe Mox flipped them the bird, gave him a nice shoulder bump, and took off, letting Punk kind of end the night in the ring on Dynamite, celebrating. Lots to unpack in this match. And as much as there is to unpack, it probably still won't rival the amount of blood that was lost.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about the match first before I talk about the after the match. So it was kind of a typical Mox as champion match. Mox is down and out, seemingly. He's been getting his ass beat for 90% of the match, which in this case, it was Jericho switching him from submission to submission throughout the whole match. But
when he started off with arm drags, I kind of wanted him to start doing like arm bar and stuff, just to kind of go back to the man of 1,004 holds.
Yeah,
and just start doing, because he was wrestling his like mid-90s Jericho way in the beginning, just slower, less smooth, but he was doing those kind of things. And then ripped Moxley's earring out.
Yep, that's where the blood was. I know everyone was wondering how the blood was going to happen.
Literally in my notes.
Not important.
Literally in my notes as the following: Jericho ripped out Mox's earring, and this is how he bleeds tonight.
Yeah, watch him have that earring back in next week. I'm gonna have to watch. I'm gonna have to check it for continuity. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. So in the match we had a little of your favorite Sammy Guevara
Nobody taught him how to throw.
as well. Yeah. Jericho starts taking the turnbuckles off to distract Aubrey. And Sammy Guevara standing out in the audience, and he throws the bat into the ring.
Like, I think Jericho might have clipped it with his hands, but it definitely went over his head and out the other side of the ring. Jericho had to go out the other side of the ring, grab it, come back in. Aubrey had to play like I'm completely blind on the left side, so that way Jericho could hit it. He still kicked out.
A+ to Aubrey on this one.
And right after he kicked out, that was basically when he got to hit the Judas effect, right? And Mox kicked out of that, the first one ever.
Yeah, Mox was like I said, Mox was doing his I'm down and out, but I'm still gonna win thing.
Somehow.
Which would be cool when him and Mr. Punk face off. Because you'll never know if it's actually gonna be over or not.
It'd be weird because he should not really be the down and out position in that match. If anything, it should be Punk.
Yeah.
Jericho actually finally put him in the lion tamer after the Walls of Jericho a couple of times. Mox was over by the ropes, got out of it, got Jericho in a choke real quick, and Jericho taps out. I was really surprised because at this point he hit the exposed turnbuckle and was bleeding like a faucet. I'm surprised he didn't just do the pass out thing because it would have made sense with how much blood he was losing.
Yeah.
As far as the aftermatch stuff goes.
Oh yeah, that's right. Commentary made it very clear that both of them wanted the other to tap out. So I kind of felt like one of them was going to tap. Well, Jericho would end up tapping.
Yeah, out of the two, definitely that one. The after the match stuff, I was actually getting really, really annoyed, but it was early enough that I had to look at the clock. I was like, there's got to be something more than just a brawl between the same two groups that we've been seeing fighting for months at this point. There's got to be something different. I was about to be so mad.
But you don't have to be mad because Daddy Magic came out.
I'm gonna be
Daddy Magic was here.
You know what? That was probably more exciting. You know, seeing him on TV every single time I see him on TV probably is more entertaining to me than CM Punk.
Hey, I did have in my notes, B Squad comes out. Oh man, now the JAS is gonna win. And then shortly after that, it just says C and then a bunch of letters because I stopped typing.
Okay, so match-wise, obviously it's an entirely different story. CM Punk has had much better matches for me to watch than Daddy Magic, but as a character, I find Daddy Magic entertaining. CM Punk is good on the mic. I can't take that away from him.
I can't even open my eyes as big as he does.
He's fun to me. Like Danhausen is fun to me, just in a different type of way.
How does he keep his eyes open that big and chew at the same time? I can't do that.
Great, now I just need to go buy a bunch of gum just so I can practice a Daddy Magic face.
Yeah. That's some skill. I gotta give it to him. All right. Respect.
So now that we have a little bit of time here, managed to work it out a little bit better for us here. Here's a big question for you. We're going to be at All Out, so we're going to get to that CM Punk pop in his hometown. We're going to have all that fun. But with that return happening tonight, not knowing when Adam Cole and them will be cleared and when they can start doing more, waiting on Kenny Omega, waiting on, well, Danielson came back already. What do you see surprise-wise possibly for us at All Out? Because Danielson's already back. Punk's back. Cole's been back on TV, so it ruined the aspect of popping back up. It leaves Kenny.
It's gotta be, it's gotta be Kenny.
Or someone new, which is really only one person, and the other company started dropping some heavy hints towards that person recently. So
I don't know anything about any of that. But yeah, I think the obvious thing is gotta be the return of Kenny. Because there's been a lot of rumors that he's about ready to come back, like he's getting close, or he's been around but he's not ready.
The other thing I could see, and I know this really depends on so much, and what's out there is real and what's not, what's fake. CM Punk comes back versus Moxley. Who's winning that match?
I think Punk.
And I think that'd be the perfect time to have MJF come back. If that's all real. And that's why I was saying I would definitely consider speeding up the length of his reign and not treat it like he was out for so long, because if you're sitting there waiting on MJF, that is the time to do it. And then you could push off that match for like a month or two or something after he's back. But MJF's the only other big one outside of like a New Japan crossover. Like if Okada randomly shows back up and in that same kind of spot, like to confront CM Punk or something. I don't know besides that. On the plus side, that means it will be a surprise for us, whatever it may be, because they're going to do some kind of surprise. What it is?
Yeah, I think we might get. I think Kenny's coming back, but I feel like there might be, like they usually have like two kind of, oh shit, we did this moments.
That's why I was gonna be curious, and it's weird, since we started this channel, I've done less of watching other podcasts, going into dirt sheets and those kind of things, and spoiling things.
Yeah.
Which, for the sake of this, sometimes it's a negative, because I don't know as much that's going on as when I used to pay a lot more attention to everything. But going there, it's kind of nice. I kind of want to be oblivious as possible.
Yeah, because if I know what's going to happen, I'm going to be real sad.
And by knowing what's going to happen, obviously there's different levels of it. Like coming to his hometown, we knew we were going to see Danhausen in Detroit.
Right.
Didn't know the capacity of it or anything beforehand, but
we didn't think it was going to be FT Hausen.
Right. So, like, there's obvious things that are good to know ahead of time that could be surprising but not necessarily surprising. But those kind of surprises, yes, I want those genuine reactions. I want for us to leave, get back to the hotel or wherever we're at, pop up like your camera and just be freaking out into a camera for like an hour talking about All Out, just in a hotel, like the crappiest version of any of our reviews. But we just have to sit there and we have to talk and we have to get it off our chest.
Yeah.
We just have to line you and me up height wise, so that way I could throw the overlay on top of it and be like, we don't care about the background. We got the overlay. Oh, if you didn't know,
We can do it.
we're going all out.
Yeah.
I love telling
Yeah, you guys, we're going all out.
when Punk came.
And I was worried when the first match that we knew that we were getting for sure was Eddie and Sammy. But now that I know that we're probably getting Punk and Mox, instantly redeemed.
And there's going to be something meaningful with the Elite that will definitely get a reaction. Honestly, though, like as soon as Punk came back, I went into a Discord as soon as the show ends. I looked at it and people were like, "So we're gonna get Mox and Punk at All Out, right?" And I'm like, it'd be fun to be in the crowd for that pop, acting like we weren't gonna be there, just being that person.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get Starks and Hobbs.
Oh yeah. Honestly, depending on what they're doing with that, I could see that being like the main event of a specialty match of a special episode of Dynamite, though, without a title or anything.
Yeah.
Really,
yeah, could be.
It really depends on the build, but with the factory involved, who knows how that's going to get played out. If they
have 3 more Dynamites left,
right? So that's what I'm saying. If they just built strictly to Hobbs versus Starks, they could do it, but if they're putting in other pieces, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Shoot. Any last thoughts on this episode of Dynamite? How does it compare to the average episode to you?
It was a medium, nice medium for me.
I'd give it a B. Like, good as always.
Yeah, a couple good matches. I got my laughs in with the Gun Club promo, and we got a oh shit moment. So yeah, let's say probably B.
Like we've been spoiled a little bit lately. That episode that we saw Swerve and Our Glory win the tag team titles, that was a packed episode and it ended with a bang. That was an amazing episode. So just for reference, if you want to go back,
there's been some good time.
Is it 3 weeks ago at this point?
3.
It was around there, but when Swerve and Our Glory won the tag team titles, if you want a reference point of what's an A show for me, that one was a hell of a show.
Last week
was good too.
Last week was a really great show.
But you want to know what else is a hell of a show? That one right there. So make sure, if you're checking us out on Twitch right now, drop that follow. If you're checking us out on YouTube after the fact, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. But if it's also on YouTube, go back and follow our Twitch and join the Discord too. Hey!